Hi guys, welcome back to Soulful Stories.
Welcome in, guys.
Hello.
And today we're going to talk about spooky stories.
That was a bit shit.
Don't put your day job.
Brandon, insert the creepy laugh.
So this one is called Something Runs Up the Stairs Every Night and I've Lost It.
So we're going to be talking about our ghost stories and somebody else's off Reddit.
Yeah.
Thanks to whoever that is.
We'll give him a shout out at the end.
Do you want me to talk about mine first?
Yeah, might as
Right.
well. So,
Okay, so I've only got one really, but it's a good one. I was about 4 years old, not to guess. My mum was getting ready for work, and she'd always go in the bathroom and have a wash, obviously. And it was about 6 o'clock, and I was obviously in bed, and I rolled over on my back, and I'm looking at the bottom of my bed, and I can just see a very tall but slim man just staring at me. So obviously scared, and I can only describe him as Frank Gallagher off Shameless. He had like light denim jeans and a white tank top that was a bit dirty with long black greasy hair, and he was just staring at me, and I'm just like, okay. So I go and run to get my mum and tell her, oh my god, there's a man in my room. And she's just like, okay, let's go and have a look. And there was no one there, obviously. So that is it. That's it really. But growing up,
scary.
it's not really. It's not really scary. But it's interesting, I suppose.
It's a true story.
It's a true story.
And you was only 4 or
But
6.
a few years later, when I had a friend who my mum used to babysit, and we were upstairs, and we used to ghost hunt on the landing, and we'd throw like a towel in the air, and then it would flow in a certain direction, almost as if someone was controlling where it was going. It was ever so weird. So we thought it was haunted. Yeah.
I've got one that I've just remembered.
Go on then.
And this one was scary. This was before.
I'll go story, all wait.
That's good, lad. Thanks for waiting. This was probably when we was about 10 or 11, and we was down Danny Higgins' house, as we called him back then, dickhead.
That was his nickname.
That was his nickname.
We're not bullying him.
No, we're not bullying, we're not shaming him. He was just
Dirty
one of them
knees.
dirty knees. Yeah, my dad used to call him. And we was doing like a pretend ghost hunt and trying to scare each other. No, I swear to God, we literally talking downstairs, and then the kitchen door slammed shut. It was only, remember them like old West Indian style doors.
Oh yeah, like a saloon door.
Yeah, that's what in their pantry. That's what their doors were like. They were like saloon doors. Yeah, and that one slammed shut. So then we were like, what the hell? And then, so we've just tore off upstairs, and then I swear to God, we shut the door behind us, and it was as if something was trying to get in the door after us. Man, we absolutely shit ourselves, and we pulled out all the boxes from underneath his bed, and we stacked them up against the door, so it was like a line like that, so it was strong, and we put it up against the wall, and it just kept shaking. The door did, and there was nobody else in the house. Man, me and him shite ourselves. And then when it finally stopped, we heard his mum come back, and we just ran downstairs. Man, I'll never forget that day. That was proper scary, especially at our age. Because like I said, there was definitely nobody else in that house. And once that door slammed, we just tore off. And the door, like, you know in the scary films, like when the door's going
As in you.
like that rabid dog. No, it literally went like the door was proper shaking, and like, oh man, that was scary. But it was literally trying to get in the door, and man, I've never been so scared. But that roughly, it'd be the only time I was scared, because then after that, it would just became a normal thing, especially when we moved into number 5.
Yes, we'd be downstairs watching Most Haunted, and we used to have like a fan light, and it used to have a cover over the light, didn't it?
It did.
And that one night, while I was watching Most Haunted, unscrew itself, hit the floor and just
Shattered.
Oh, what light?
The fan.
Fan.
Oh, like on the ceiling?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you know how it's got like the screw
Yeah.
cover? That.
Yeah, the cover unscrewed
Yeah.
itself.
And the fan wasn't on.
No,
You
no.
had one of them in your house?
Yeah, it used
Yeah.
to be in the living room.
Bloody hell, we never had one. Mad.
It's not what you know, it's what you know.
Yeah.
Oh no,
And
no, it is definitely who we know.
yeah, this is right.
Our Decker.
It was, and yeah, it did. It unscrewed itself, and it shattered in the middle of in the living room.
I remember, wasn't Jem got a phone out as well? Shout out FG. She got a phone out, didn't she? And was taking pictures, and she found like these pink and purple, almost like mists.
Oh, I don't know.
Remember, when she was taking pictures in the living room, and it was like purple and pink mists.
The only picture I remember, and I don't know where the phone is this was after my dad died.
That was me
We took a picture,
on the camera.
and in the corner of the room, next on the curtain,
It's gone now.
it's an orb, and in the orb was my dad's face.
Dad's face, his eyes.
Dad's
Looking
face,
at
yeah. And that was probably one of the best orb pictures we'd ever caught, up until we caught one the other day, but that was in last time's video.
I
Yeah.
caught an orb the other day on our Ring doorbell. I'll try and put that in as well. Remember that one? And it was like, he went up, and then he went from the left side, and it flew across and went out the door.
Mm.
And it was like a circle. It didn't even look like dust or a bug. It was weird. Yeah.
Well, what you got to remember is that Ring doorbell's always there, so if you catches something like that, it's going to be either a spirit
Well, I was
or
just
a
watching.
big-
I was
or a
watching it
big-ass
on.
bug.
I was live
in
streaming it.
night mode.
Yeah, it was in night vision.
There you go then.
So it's you can see a lot more in night vision with like orbs and stuff like that.
Yeah, because
Um,
that's why the cameras used to be quite good back in the day, because when they did that flash thing, when ghost hunting first came, not about, but like when you first got the flash on the cameras, just before the iPhones and everybody was in the rave of having the flash on, it was the type of camera that was picking up orbs and everything. Do you remember? I bet you never saw that video, did you? My mum's friend's Mrs.'s son, Gaunty, her eldest, was just recording, like having a laugh and a joke in the living room, and then about halfway through the video you just see like half a body walk into the frame.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'd have to ask him if he's still got the video, but yeah, he was just laughing and joking with him and his mates, then all of a sudden there's just half a body there.
You were giving on about smashing that ceiling light. Me and Liam was watching a video the other day, remember? And this family in America, the youngest girl, she was playing this game where you'd say something, I can't remember what she was saying, but you'd film with your phone, you'd film the ceiling, say this thing 3 times, and then you'd bring it down and go, I see you. And then the girl was like, oh my god, it's working, it's real. So then the oldest daughter, when everyone was gone,
Oh,
she
it was the mother. It was the mother.
It was their older sister
It was the
when
mum.
everyone was gone.
It was the mum, because even the mum and the dad, they didn't do it.
It wasn't, but okay.
It was the mother. I'll find the YouTube video.
Okay.
It was the
Insert here.
Anyway, so this woman, when everyone was out the house, she was like, let's just give it a go. So she went around every room in the house, like, filmed I See You and all that jazz, and when she got to her bedroom, she did it, and as she was about to bring the camera down, her entire chandelier fell off and smashed on the floor. And it was like a big glass chandelier, it just fell.
Like a goth chandelier, 'cause it's all
It was
black.
black, yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
So
and
that's
she
weird.
shit pants and ran off.
Mate, that's scary. You have to see if you can, it's on YouTube somewhere, you'll have
The
to
camera
search for it.
shaking. Right, so
I
I
think it
remember
is,
when I
to
was
be
younger
honest.
as well. Well, my mum told me this when I was a little bit older. That I used to speak to someone in my sleep.
You still bloody do?
When I'd sit up.
He gets that from me
Sit up.
apparently.
God.
I'd sit up in like a half.
Half. Yeah.
Like a 45-degree angle.
It was kind of like this.
Not all the way up.
Yeah, but imagine I'm lying down.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's about like this.
And
Kinda like
I'd
that
be
angle.
Speaking to someone. Obviously, I don't remember that.
He still does. He woke up the one morning and I don't even know if I can say this. When we first started going out or whatever,
Dating.
yeah,
14.
courting, he turned around and woke up and went, "Did you get the stuff?" Stuff being drugs, and we don't do drugs. So I don't even know what he's on about. And then a few years later, he woke up and he went, "Don't talk to me." I'm like, I've literally just come into bed. He's like, I'm so annoyed. I was like, why? He was like, because of what you just said. I was like, I haven't said anything. He was like, no, in my dream.
You know what that reminds me of? You know when the people say, you know, the missus wakes up and then has a go at the chat because they're talking to somebody else in their dream and it's your fault. What? I was asleep all day. I don't even do anything.
I do remember when I was younger, the gentleman, the man at the bottom of the
Man
stairs.
at the bottom of the stairs. Oh man, you used to be shit scared of him. Look, again, didn't pick up on anything like that because I was only, I was about 14 myself because you'd have been 2 or 3, maybe 4 at
I was
max.
older than that. I was about 5, 6, because I remember it. So
Okay, go on then. So there's 10 years difference. So I'd have been about 15, 16 at max. And yeah, he wouldn't go by the bottom of the stairs. Oh, I'm not going there. Why? The man at the bottom of the stairs. Well, go and talk to him then. No. So that was just his mediumship. That was him and his guide just trying to let him know that he was around. So yeah, do you want to read your ghost story?
Yes, so this is called Something Runs Upstairs Every Night. When I was younger, I was friends with this guy who lived in a fairly big house. Old house. I occasionally went round to hang out, but I'll never forget the time I stayed there overnight. We were playing games on the Xbox in his room, and it was quite late at night, so I just spat.
You sure this is a ghost story?
Groundhog up. I've always been into paranormal stuff, so naturally I was asking about his whole house. I know he has seen and heard things there. Anyway, he was telling me stories about his house, and he said he always keeps his door closed at night because he doesn't like the sound he hears. I asked what he meant, and he told me that almost every night at around midnight or just after, he hears footsteps coming up the stairs, and once it reaches the top, he hears more, but this time running directly at his room. His bedroom is at the end of the landing upstairs. He told me that he's never been able to keep the door open to find out what it is. I didn't believe this completely and thought it might be a joke. So he said, try and keep the door open, and if you see, and see if you can handle it. So I challenged myself to that and decided I'd keep the door open to find out. It got later through the night and eventually it reached midnight. A few minutes passed and I began to hear those footsteps up the stairs. At first I didn't think it could have been a family member. But then I realised they'd all gone to bed and all of the lights were off outside of the bedroom. I listened as he got closer and it seemed like someone was just walking up the stairs, like normal, except when it reached the top there was nothing there. I could see the stairs from the bedroom. Moments later I hear footsteps gradually running towards the bedroom, but I panicked and shut the door as fast as I could. I couldn't bear to see what could happen. To this day, years after, I still wonder what it could have been and why almost every night that happened. I wish I could go back and do it again, as I think I could handle it a lot better now. I'll never stop thinking about this experience.
Wow.
Wow.
You know, it's in old houses you will find a lot more energy, and again it's just to do with who's lived there, what they've lived there through. You know, some of these houses are like centuries year olds, and there's hundreds of spirits that have been there or lived there, passed through there. So could have just been they were trying to take a statement that it was still their home from the spirit world. But again, there's a lot of spirits that the ones that get a little bit confused and stuff like that, or don't want to move over, they do still think that their house is their house when it's not. And that is where a lot of just, we call it negativity because it's the only way to describe it, but sometimes it's just a simple fact of, look, if you're willing to stay here, you need to accept that this is just no longer your house, it's this living person's house as well. If you're not, then I'll just move you on. And a lot of them will just be like, okay, you know, we'll just keep it quiet. But there are some rare cases where I'm like, no, challenge accepted, and we're like, okay then, let's get you moved. but when we talk about negative energy, it's not always demon and demonic and throwing and scratching and stuff like that. No, it's, it can just be that somebody's a little bit miffed that you've moved into their house because they haven't moved over.
It's understandable. You spend all your life paying a mortgage, die, your house gets derelict, and then some people just come and explore like it for free.
Yeah,
I think I'd be angry as well.
it is, and that's 70% of the time you will find, because there is, like I say, there is a lot of places that do have full-on negative energy. Have you got another one? Or?
Yeah, so I've got another one here. It's called The Night My Dad Heard the Same Voice I Did.
Ooh.
I've never really believed in ghosts, but something happened a few years ago that still sticks with me. I was home from work, sleeping in my room around 2 a.m. I woke up out of nowhere, no nightmare or noise, just that weird something wrong feeling. I sat up and heard it clear as day, a woman's voice whispering my name, not once, but twice. It came from the hallway just outside my door. I froze. It didn't sound threatening, but it definitely wasn't familiar either. I thought maybe it was the TV, but everything was off. Eventually, I chalked it up to dreaming while half awake and went back to bed. The next morning after breakfast, my dad casually asked me, "Did you get up last night?" I thought I heard someone say your name in the hallway. I hadn't told anyone what I heard. We just kind of stared at each other for a second, then changed the subject. He still doesn't talk about it. Nothing else happened after that, but that was one moment. That one moment is buried into my brain. I don't know what we heard, but I'm pretty sure we both heard the same thing.
Again, could just been a loved one, and sometimes it just so happens that more than one person hears them. So I've only ever had that happen to me once, and funnily enough, it was when Mom was upstairs on the toilet and I'm sitting in my room playing my Xbox, and I'd not been ignoring the spirit world, but I was still in the midst of learning and trying to understand everything. And shit, at the bottom of the stairs, all you heard was a lady going, "Scott, Scott," just twice, my name. And my mum went, "For fuck's sake, Scott, will you just answer him?" And I went, "Mum, I don't know what to say to him, so just ignore him, I'll work it out."
And you both heard that?
Yeah. It's clear as day. And there was only me and Mum in the house at the time, obviously, because my dad was dead. He moved out. No, I was at work, sorry, and Snowy had moved out.
Was that at school?
No, you'd finished school by then.
You moved out when I was in school.
Oh, he was at school then. I can't remember. I just remember it was just me and Mum in the house. Mum was on the toilet and it just went to me, "For fuck's sake, Scott, will you answer him?" Because I'd heard it, and I did. And I went, "Mum, I don't know what to do. I don't know what to say. I'm still learning." Just ignore them, and they'll come to me when they need to. But never 100% worked out who it was, because I've never really had a female working with me, i.e. as a guide. They've all been males. So again, not sure who it was, but I just think it was somebody that wanted me to work with the spirit world. Could have been a loved one. I'm not gonna 100% say, "Oh, I know who it was," because I don't. But yeah, that was one of the weird times where I have actually heard a voice full on, and so did my mum. But yeah, I had 2 seconds of fame. You think has got the ability, I don't.
I think she can. I don't think she's fully got the ability.
We got it from Nanny Gregory.
Well, I think she can pick up on feelings.
So I was like an empath.
Like sadness and that, yeah.
Yeah.
That'll be me.
You remember that time we went to the Drake Manor car show?
Yes.
And you had that woman there with all the different kind of crystals.
Yes.
She put it on Mum's back and she started blarting.
Oh no, I remember that bit.
We went to the crystal thing.
I'd walked off at some stage though as well, don't I? I just
I was
wandered
with
off.
Mum, and it wasn't long after Dad died, so it's probably all the built-up emotion.
Could have been high, yeah.
And she, just like that crystal, pure black crystal. This was. She got it.
Like this.
And she put
Up
it on,
the Zoom.
Yeah, but it was in more like a rock.
They're in rock form, but these are just like these are more like crystals that you can use to attract energy and stuff. Sorry, carry on.
Yeah, and she got this rock, and she went through a few of them, but then she picked up this one. This one, she says, you know, this one's to do with emotions. She says, I feel this one's for you. And she says, yeah, if I pour it here on your back, what do you feel? And just like that, started blarting, started crying.
Who's this?
Mum.
Really?
Yeah. And I thought then, holy shit, what sort of witchcraft is this?
Sorry, that
That
was
was
a bit
it.
loud.
Sold. We bought fucking the shop.
We did go a bit mad on crystals then, didn't we? We had them on the necklace and everything.
Yeah.
But I don't remember my mum crying, but I'd walked off, but then I'd obviously gone back to them because we did end up with crystals around our neck and stuff. But I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Crazy. You know, crystals are real. You know, they do hold a lot of energy, and different colours do mean different things. I won't go into them because I'm not always 100%. And again, even though they come with a manual that tells you about them, each medium will work with them in different ways, and it'll mean different things for them, and the guides will work with them different. So, you know, I always say with crystals, just go with what you're drawn to, and then if it helps you with your emotions, or it helps pick you up, or it makes you feel better, you know, then that's what that colour is meant to do for you, and that stone is for you. You know, the manual is just kind of like a bit of an instruction guide to coming into crystals and how they can impact people. The only ones that I really kind of stick with is like Tiger's Eye and stuff like that. They are definitely designed for what the purpose is, which I can't 100% remember, but I know 90% of the mediums I do talk to, you know, there are a couple that, yeah, that is definitely what it's 100% used for, and Tiger's Eye is one of them, which again, I do have here. That's Tiger's Eye. And my dad left us all a ring when he passed, and I was left his Tiger Eye ring because I was the eldest. And I've got that upstairs.
I've got one ring, I can't remember what it is.
Yeah, we all got one. That's about the only thing I've ever kept off Dad. Everything else I've got rid of. But again, that's different story, different meanings. But yeah, the Tiger's Eyes was a ring that I kept off him, which will just be passed down in the family.
You got anything to say, Brandon?
I've got another story.
Go on then.
This is one of Mum's ghost stories. Obviously, she works at the hospital. A few years ago, it was an early morning on a weekend, and she just went round. She's a domestic cleaner. She went round, and they have to do the water jugs. So she went into one of these side rooms, and the patient that was in there was a female. And in the hospital we work at, they don't all wear them, but some of them will wear like a pink nightgown. So this patient wasn't in this side room. So my mum said, she came outside and she got one of the nurses, and she said, "Excuse me, darling," she said, "I think the patient in this room is walking down the corridor." She went, "I can see her walking down there." And she turned around to Mum and said, "No, Steph, she's in the bathroom in the side room." And then she went, "No, she's walking down there. I can see the nightie, like just screaming around the corner. I've just saw the nightie." And they were like, "No, that she's in the bathroom." And then this patient comes out the bathroom, and then my mum's like, "So who the hell have I just seen walking down there? Is there someone like walking around the ward?" And they were like, "No, you've probably seen Doris." I'm sure it was Doris or Dorothy. That's our resident ghost on the ward. My mum was like, "You are?" Yeah, so this ward, wherever she was known to have a ghost that sometimes can be seen walking down the corridor. And my mum just saw her walking down clear as day. She's like, looked like a little frail old lady, and I just saw her nightgown flowing and she was walking around the corner. And they're like, "No, that's our Doris, that is." I've never really had anything.
No, I ain't. And I used to work nights on there, and we used to go to like
On a night shift,
empty wards.
if the corridors are dark, it sometimes scares me a bit, but I've not had anything. But yeah, apart from ghost stories.
Scared you can't see the food, that's why. Oh, the lights are going off, I can't see my food.
Well, I'll eat in the dark. I won't lose it.
We could tell.
So yes, guys, thank you. Oh,
If you've got any ghost stories, guys, put them in the comments down below.
yeah,
We'd love to hear them.
Yeah.
Everyone has different stories and experiences. And I think personally, if you've had something in your life that you've experienced, I feel like you're more subject to believing this sort of stuff. I feel like the biggest skeptics out there, me being one of them, don't have much encounters with the supernatural and stuff like that. And then obviously since I've been doing this,
open your eyes, eh?
yeah, I did believe in it, but I was like 70%. I was like, oh, I don't know. But now I'm a solid 95% now. Thanks to good old Grandpa Hall telling me I've been there before.
I was going to say, you get scared on investigations when, to be fair...
What's
It's
that?
Yeah.
A rat. No, it flew over our head.
it's not the...
To be fair, I heard that noise.
It's not the investigation that scared me, it's the real thing. So like when we went to that rope factory, I thought we were going to get killed because I thought someone was there.
It did sound like someone was walking through the hallway.
And then in White Ladies Priory, that was a rat. Oh, that was a rat. I just knew it. I know it was.
But there was nothing there.
It flew over us.
And it sounded like it went above
I
us.
don't see nothing.
That's
I
why
don't
looked
see
up.
anything either, but I heard it. It was
And
like...
it sounded like a rat.
It did sound like a rat, but I don't see a rat.
And the last time I checked, rats ain't got wings.
So
And
there's
it's
so many
jump-
rats.
That's why it's called a flying pigeon. Oh, sorry, that's GTA. We have to kill all 100 of them. Flying rats.
Yeah, 1 out of 100 flying rats. Killed.
Yeah, that's the one. God.
Yeah, we're going to love you and leave you here, guys. I think we're going to finish here. Right then, guys, thank you for watching Soulful Stories, and we'll catch you in the next one.
In the next one. Peace
Bye.
out, guys.
Bye.